very good result out there. People are very interested in what we are doing, and they feel very good about it. Yeah. So we're doing good.
Great. Well, I am going to ask you the question that I'm sure is on many viewers' minds right now. So, your citizenship status, dual citizen. Yes, can you please tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, the media has been doing a works on me all over the country. In fact, sending it all over the world. About my dual citizenship. But the interesting thing is that people, they're only focusing on me. They have other people who have dual citizenship, and they're not saying anything about them. Right? But they are saying about me and the URP. Why is it? Because you're afraid? You're afraid of the URP? Yeah? The URP has been working tremendously hard. The URP has a track record in this country in politics. I have a track record in politics in Guyana, and I don't know why they are so much afraid of me. Why they're trying to push this thing all over out of proportion, right? But I had applied for the releasing of my citizenship of the United States, and this is my certificate. It has been granted to me on 16th of this month, right?
So it's official.
Yeah, it's official. I'm a 100% Guyanese. Right? This is it. But I also would like to on all those dual citizens who are in the PPP and PNC to show me a certificate like this, that they released themselves from their dual citizenship. I ain't showing it. I'm the first one showing it. Other political leader, I wouldn't call name, months ago said their papers at at the embassy and it's processing. Up to today we can't see it.
Sure.
In the space of 2 weeks I can show you my loss of US citizen. And I'm calling on all the opposition and all the media, just as they call on me, let them call on all those who have dual citizenship in the PNC and the PPP. And furthermore, one thing I would like to say, they talk so much about dual citizenship, about my dual citizenship. But one thing they're not talking about? The PPP presidential candidate has 19 charges against him. And still he's running for president and nobody says a word about it. But they say Dr. Vishnu Bandhu is a problem because he has dual citizenship. But I want to tell them, all who are saying that, I am more Guyanese than them. And I prove it here, that I am more Guyanese than they are. I release myself from this because every hair on this body of mine is Guyana. Right? And I'm proud to be a Guyanese. So I'm calling on the media to call on all those who are in the PPP and the PNC now to show their certificate of relinquishing their dual citizenship. Just as they call on me, I am calling on them to relinquish their dual citizenship and show us that they relinquish it. They call me all kind of names. They said I lie. I should be charged. I should be go to jail. All kind of things they talk about me. But I want to see these ministers and so who have dual citizenship, if they shouldn't be charged and if they shouldn't be go to jail. It seems like the media in this country, most of them, they have their own people who they're backed in the two major political parties. They don't worry with the smaller parties and so. But the smaller parties in Guyana will make the difference in Guyana. Not the big party. The big party has shown us their true color for 50 odd years in this country. 50 odd years. So we work pretty hard for where we are. Right? We can proudly say today that we are the third force in Guyana. We are able to contest all 10 regions in Guyana, regional and general election. Nobody else, beside the PNC, the APNU and the PPP, and us, only 3 political parties are able to do that. Yeah. Right? And that shows that URP is the third force in Guyana.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I feel that just as actually saying that you've done that you've relinquished your citizenship already, to me, it resonates as something that it's a great personal sacrifice, I would definitely say, especially knowing, understanding the full context of it, understanding, you've lived about half your life in America, that's really where you built much of, I guess, the ability to be able to even come back to Guyana and affect that change was from there, and to give up the citizenship for really, to be able to try to continue that change, but in a political sphere, I find it commendable. Yeah.
Many people, when they saw this, they can't believe it.
Yeah.
Because people have millions in this country. They will sell everything out, what they have, to obtain a U.S. passport. You talk about U.S. passport, but my U.S. passport, they cancel it.
Those in there.
Right?
Yeah.
They take everything, my naturalization, they cancel the passport, and everything.
So now you got to go through the visitors line at the airport.
If I want to go to U.S. now, I have to go and apply, just like any ordinary person, to get a visa to go.
Wow. Yeah. So yes, I'm sure that definitely it has many implications. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I know, because we're pressed for time, that I would like to definitely be able to move on to know a little bit more about your guests that you've brought on today.
Yes. Well, Marcia here, she's the Prime Minister candidate, and let us hear what she has to say. She can tell you something about our list, our election, and what's happening.
Yes, good night.
Right.
And thank you for having us.
Thanks for being here.
Right. Yes, as Dr. Bandu said, I am the prime ministerial candidate of the United Republican Party. And he has asked me to say what is our status as it relates to if we're contesting the elections, because that too has been an issue in the news, in the media, because of the whole dual citizenship, the whole question of dual citizenship. What I have here with me is a copy of a letter from the Elections Commission, and this letter is dated January 14th. And this letter states that the Elections Commission accepts our corrected list, because when we submitted our list on nomination day, we were notified that there were some defects, and it says the correction to the defects submitted by you were satisfactory. So this is a letter from GCOM that we received, the United Republican Party, saying that during the period given for the corrections to the list, we did that and it was satisfactory. So we can say this is a pre-qualification letter. Then we have here our approval letter. This is a letter approving our list of candidates. So this gives us the green light, more or less, to contest the elections. So there is no more question on whether the URP is going to the polls. We are going to the polls, it's official, as attested to by this letter from GCOM. So for those persons who would have had questions in their minds as to whether the URP is contesting the elections, there you have it. The answer is yes, we are going to the polls. And as Dr. Bandu said, we are competing as the third force. The only other political party besides the two major political parties in Guyana that is contesting the elections the general elections and the regional elections at all regions in Guyana. The only other political party that has been able to do so. And we have been working tremendously. As we speak, we have teams on the ground in all the regions working hard. Our campaign has been more of one-on-one one, instead of we're not going so much at this point for the public meetings, but we've been having meetings on a more personal level with the people, and we're getting a great feedback. We are sensing from the feedback that we're getting that the people are ready for a change, a real change that is, and not an exchange. And because we believe firmly that the United Republican Party is a party that is that change. We can effect that real change that Guyana needs. And so this is why we continue to fight.
Wow. And so now you did also make the observation that the URP is the only party, aside from the two major APNU and PPP, the two major parties that are actually running in all regions, so that they're all in the running in the general as well as the regional elections. So why do you feel that that really URP was able to draw those numbers, at least compared to these other sort of smaller parties that have come about in the recent months?
URP was able to draw those numbers because the URP did the work that was necessary. We went out there and we hit the pavement. We went door to door. We spoke to the people, and that was the response that we got, that we were able to put together a list that covered all 10 regions.
Besides that, the URP had a track record.
Fair enough.
You know, we have a track record, so it wasn't so difficult to get people to sign for us because we are there before. They know us. The younger political party today doesn't have a track record. Only the URP had a track record beside the APNU and the PPP right now. And so it makes it very easy for us to do. As you can see also, that this is our manifesto, what we brought out. And we have been sharing this around. It has a lot of valuable information for the development of Guyana. You know, we launched this last week at the Coral Lodge, you know, and we have been working tremendously hard. In fact, some of the reporter asked me at the luncheon, where you guys not putting up flags? I said, flags for what? I said the PNC and the PPP run race to put up flags. You know, each one of those flags, what they spend their money on, could put a shirt in somebody's back, or a dress on the women's skin, or some food in their stomach. But they decide, if they really care for these people, don't you think that they take those money and spend it more wisely by helping these people who are clothesless and who are foodless? Don't you think they should help them? If you really care about these people, billions of dollars from Crabble Creek to Charity, from Georgetown to Kakwani, all the region, you spend so much of money on flags when people are starving, people are clothesless in this country. If you really care about these people, don't you think it was wiser for you to take those money and help these people out? Yeah? Before dressing up lantern posts and this post and that post in this country? It does make sense to me. URP would not spend money in doing those kind of things. We prefer to take that money and give somebody to buy a meal, or buy a shirt, or buy a dress, if we have those kind of money. But this government has been spending money from the government, for the people's money, for their campaign. They're spending the government vehicles to campaign, which is against the law. And the past government used to do the same thing. You know? All the buses you will see, when they got campaign, but Mark Granger bringing passenger. That's not Granger bus. That's the people's money bus. It's only Mark Granger, the government property. And you using it to fetch people for your campaign. Using vehicles to put up flags on the posts, government vehicles, for campaign. It's not fair. You know? So, if they were carrying government and if they were carrying opposition before run race each other to put up those flags, they would have taken that same money and served the people in Guyana. Some of the flags that I see they have in Georgetown, the APNU flags, cost thousands of dollars. With those printing and the big flag that's flying. Thousands of dollars. Right? You look at it carefully and see what happened. You know how many clothes one of that flag can buy for the people? So, all these kind of things that these people are doing, sure, you know, putting up all these flags and this and that, it doesn't make sense to the URP. It's waste of money when that money could go into better use for the people. You will see soon they will have these rallies, and they start having it already. They fetch people from all over this country, both political parties, you know. All over the country they'll fetch. If they got a rally in Essequibo, they go bring people from Linden, they go bring people in Essequibo right through and take them there. If they got in Berbice, they bring from Essequibo, Linden, all through Georgetown, right through East Coast, West Berbice, to rallies. And you check, you go to these rallies, both APNU and the PPP, you hardly see different faces. It's people that they fetch all over, and the people glad for the little outing. Because they get food and they get liquor. That's what they give them. So they fetch you up one day for you to vote for them, and 364 days in the year, you have white mouth, you're starving. You know, one day fetting and white mouth 364 days. And you cries out. But it's your fault. You, the people, fault. You're not thinking. 50 odd years, brother. 50 odd years we are in this thing here. And you're not seeing. You know. Anyway, time is near to up, and we should give Max a couple minutes.
No, absolutely. Which,
Yeah.
you know, even on that subject, I wanted to ask, so, of course, just as we've said that, the message of the URP has resonated with a lot of persons throughout the country. Now, I know your area focuses mainly on the East Coast, so can you tell us a little bit about how the message is really being received over there?
Good night, George. Thanks very much. Let me say this quite clear. We have just launched our manifesto. We are about to launch our campaign. And we are going very, very strong, not only on the East Coast. I'm about to assume as campaign manager. And we're going to left no corner, not even one corner like this. We are going to go very strong. We are campaigning the entire region. We are looking forward to go to Parliament. Our message, I will give it out on the platform. Because a lot of people are saying that Mr. Bandu is a dual citizen, and we're going to challenge them on the campaign platform. Let they come up with their letter to say that they are not dual citizens, that they are full-fledged Guyanese. Mr. Bandu has given up all his rights in America to be here. And showing the loyalty. But as I said, campaign trail, East Coast, I am responsible for the East Coast, and many more other places. We are coming very strong. We are not turning back. We're not going to make the general public a fool. We are fighting this election equally with the PNC, APNU, and the PPP. We have nothing to fear. We are going to go right through in all the regions. But what I want to say, I won't say it now until the launching of our campaign. And shortly, we are going to launch. And then we will know the better cock will crow then.
All right. All right. No, it definitely is. Oh.
Let me say this. They are talking about the Constitution. On the platform, we will know who know what with the Constitution. So my friends out there, I want you to know URP will not be silent, and they are trying to silence the URP politically, but we will not take that. We are going forward. We are going to go to each area in Region 4 and all over to spread the true gospel of our party. We will not take a step back. So the rest out there, I know many of them are surprised to see me here tonight with Mr. Bandu. But I have nothing to hide, nothing to fear. I have nothing in my closet to hide. So those who know they have things in their closet, they better prepare. So the door open up on the platform, they could challenge us.
Now, you made an interesting point where you said that some persons would be surprised to see you here. So then that leads me to ask, then, so why did you choose the URP? Why did you choose to align yourself with this party?
The honesty is about it. There is a third force, and URP is the third force that they are afraid of. I have known Mr. Bandu for a number of years. We have tried many things to come forward, but this thing, we are going right through. So those who are out there, they're going to see me on the platform. And I'm going to carry this campaign very, very strong. We will not turn back. We will not surrender. We are going forward. And one thing I want them to know that Mr. Bandu is very loyal. He gave up his citizenship, where he lose a lot in America to come back here. And those who are saying that Mr. Bandu spread the wrong gospel, they didn't prepare to accept it. We're going to show them this way. Let them come out. All those who's talking about Mr. Bandu, let the PPP, APNU FC, let them come with a document to show that their supporters is not a resident of America or Canada or anywhere else of the world. Because the Constitution said, Mr. Bandu's position, running to office, is not a parliamentary position. The president don't sit in parliament, only the prime minister. And the day is going to come when we're going to face it up with the Constitution. That's what I have to say for now, until we meet on the platform. But on the day of question, when we're going to launch that party strategy, we all will know. So the general public on the East Coast, my friends, I'm here with Mr. Bandu. I'm not ashamed. I stand very firm, and we are very firm, and we are strong in our message.